It's like online interview.
Yeah.
Okay.
My
That must be
company's based
pretty.
in
I've
America.
never done an online interview. How is that? Because they must be sitting, so they have like the suit, like the upper.
Yeah, and underwear as well
Yeah.
at the bottom. I don't know. I
And
never
you're in your
asked them to get
bikini.
up. I wish I know.
And the guy gets up, he's like, oh shit. It's like the camera's still recording. Like, oh no. Have you ever seen a very beautiful girl on the street, in the bar, or even in the coffee shop, and you thought to yourself, how can I attract her into my life? What's up, bro? In today's video, we have a very exciting topic, and that's attraction. Attraction is like fuel for the car. Without fuel, the car doesn't go anywhere, right? And for the interaction, it's exactly the same. Without attraction, the interaction doesn't go anywhere. All right, if you remember from last week, you had a mission to complete, and that was 3 approaches. 3 indirect for the more experienced guys, and 3 direct for the more beginner guys. If you did do it, comment below what kind of results you got. If you haven't, if you didn't see the video from last week, click on that now. It's very important that you see that video, because without that video, you're not going to be able to go into what we're going to talk about today. And make sure you watch until the end of this video, because we have a very important mission. So firstly, let's talk about what the average guy believes gets the girls attracted. Firstly, he agrees to everything she says. Secondly, he over compliments her, he puts her on a pedestal. He's way too of a nice guy. Thirdly, he sends her flowers before he even knows her. Fourthly, he tries to change his identity to suit the girl. So if the girl says, oh, I really like, I don't know, volleyball, he says, oh, I actually love volleyball too. So the next one is he tries to impress her by saying, oh, I have this car, I have this house, I have so much money, I have this Rolex, look. And actually, I'll tell you a quick story. I was on a date. It was a 3-on-3 date. It was an instant date. And one of the guys, he wasn't in game. And he actually had a nice car. It was like £80,000 Tesla. And in the middle of the conversation with the girl, he just got his phone and said, oh, by the way, that's my car. And the girl just switched off. As soon as he said that, she just completely switched off. Next one is having an outcome in mind. The average guy goes and approaches the girl wanting something in return, right? Just imagine you're out and about and someone approaches you, and before they've even said anything, you feel like, oh, this guy wants something, you know? And then he opens his mouth like, can I get some change, mate? And you're like, I knew it, that was gonna come, right? And it's the same with the girl. When you're talking to her and you have an outcome in mind, maybe you want her to be your girlfriend, maybe you want her to sleep with you, whatever the goal is, she can feel it. All right, the next one is they're way too predictable. You know, they talk about logical stuff. They're not really having an emotional impact on the girl. They're talking about like work, they're talking about the weather, and it's just not interesting for her. And then the last point is, firstly, they're very readily available, and also they act like she is the prize. Now, what is attraction? Attraction is illogical, right? It's actually made in the part of your brain that you cannot think. It's called the reptile brain, and the reptile brain controls your emotions, right? You cannot make decisions with your reptile brain. It just happens automatically. For example, right now you're watching this video. If there was a tiger right next to you, what would happen, right? You would automatically get up and run. You wouldn't really be sitting there and making a decision about it, because you'd be dead, right? And attraction happens the same way. It just instantly happens, right? So obviously with men, we see women and we get attracted straight away. It's more visual. With women, it's different. It happens gradually. So what I'm going to mention in this video are the things that is going to trigger that attraction, right? It's the fuel for the interaction. So let me tell you a quick story. I used to have a colleague when I was in the corporate world, and she was telling me how she met her husband. So she used to work in a retail shop, and the guy, this guy, who eventually became her husband, walks into the shop, right? She sees him. She was like, I had zero attraction for him. I didn't even like anything about him, right? And then he came up to her, they started talking, and she said he was very persistent. He was quite fun to talk to, very interesting. And he was making fun of her, you know, like her older brother would. And she felt really like good around him, right? Even though she didn't like him in the beginning, she eventually married him. So she might not have initial attraction for you, but that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter because you can build that. And this is why it's so important to do the new clever indirect approach that we do, is because if you do the direct, she might kind of dismiss you straight away, right? But if you do the clever indirect, she's not going to do that, because you're just opening up a conversation very naturally, just like you would with a guy, right? So she's going to give you an opportunity to build that attraction. All right, let's get to the good stuff now. Firstly, teasing. The best way to describe teasing is, imagine you're teasing your little sister or your little cousin, right? It's going to be playful. You're going to say it lightheartedly, and you're going to have fun saying it, right? So this is the same. The best one I tell my clients is when, let's say, a girl is from a certain country and you use that country to kind of tease her. So if she says, oh, I'm from Italy, you say, oh my God, like I have to run away. You must be in the mafia, or like, are you going to kidnap me or something? Some funny shit like that. If she's from, let's say, France, you could say, oh, like, where's your baguettes? You know, where's your cigarettes? If she's from the Middle East, you could say, oh, you must be a belly dancer. So it's good to use the stereotypes of countries to make that tease happen. And if you're from a country where it's not multicultural, you could do regional teases. So for example, let's say, I don't know, if you're in the US, and everyone's from different states, if she's from Texas, you will say, oh, like you must be a cowgirl or something like that. Actually, a really easy one for teasing is, so she says, oh, I'm from this country, or I'm from this region in your country, and you say, oh my God, I have to run away, bye, right? And he said, no, I'm just joking. And then she might say, oh, like, why do you want to run away? And you say, oh, because I've heard girls from that country or that region are crazy but cute, or they're cute but crazy, whatever, something like that. So it's a good push pull. Because you look so lost, like a tourist. Yeah, I'm guessing you're originally from like Poland? No.
From Greece.
From Greece? Oh my God.
Yeah.
That means I have to run away.
Why? Where are you from?
Yes. Yeah, you look very happy. Yeah? Is it because that's not coffee? It's vodka.
No.
Really? I don't believe you. Yeah?
Have you been to Moscow?
No, I never been to Moscow.
So you should go.
Yeah? But I heard the women are very beautiful,
Yeah.
but they drink vodka too much.
Not every woman.
I'm from Spain.
Really? Okay. Is it true what they say about Spanish girls in London?
What?
I said, is it true what they say about Spanish girls in London?
What they say?
They are cute, but they
Yeah?
are cute. Cute, like good looking,
Yeah?
but they are crazy.
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 Do you know it?
So
it.
it's like you, yeah?
No. But I like it. I am cool we do it.
And the next point is challenging. This is very important because it's the opposite of agreeing to everything she says. So imagine the average guy, what does he do? Agree to everything she says. And if you go in with a good challenge, you're going to really stand out. And the way you do this is, imagine I'm in London now, and she's flown from New York to London, and I ask her, oh, what do you think of London? She said, oh, I actually don't like London. It's too, it's too busy. It's this, it's that. And I said, actually, I really love London because it's very multicultural. There's a lot of things to do, and you're close to Europe, so you can travel to anywhere within like 2 hours distance, that kind of stuff. So actually, the reasons don't even have to be true. You could just make any reasons. It doesn't really matter. You just have to disagree. And the girls, they are more like energetic than you. You're very relaxed.
Because I'm tired.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. By the way, I'm always like this.
You're always tired.
Yeah. No, I'm always peace. I love my life. Happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, the next point is fun. It's also called self-amusement. This is so key because what happens is when an average guy goes into interaction, he gets really nervous, right? He gets really nervous and he can't have fun in interaction. So when you go in and you're talking to this very, very hot girl, and you're just having fun, you don't care about the outcome, you're just there to enjoy yourself, she's going to get attracted to you.
It's not like a good quality, it's real old-fashioned, but it's not so overcrowded and
Yeah.
it's not so hot in underground. It's mostly more windy, I don't know, really.
In London, we like it hot because it's like sauna, you know?
Yeah, I feel it.
So it's good for your skin.
I'm not really sure.
So the next one is never qualifying yourself. And what that means is, imagine I'm talking to the girl and she goes to me, oh, your top looks quite cheap. And I go, yeah, it's because I got it from Primark, right? So I'm not qualifying myself. I'm actually disqualifying myself. But what would be qualifying myself is if I say, oh, actually, I got my top from Gucci. It's like £500, right? That's what you don't want to do. And also, another way to disqualify yourself is by saying you two would never get along, right? This is a very traditional one. They used it back in the day. So you use something in the conversation to say, oh, you mean you would never get along. So let's say if she says, oh, I love watching movies, and you hate watching movies, you say, oh, we would never get along. You always be watching movies, I'll be in the gym. It's not going to work, right? So this is really good because the more you push people back, the more they want to come in. People want stuff that they cannot get, right? So if you become that guy who's not available for her, she's going to want you even more. The next point is being cocky funny. The other day I was coaching a client and I told him about this concept, and then this girl asked him, what do you do like for work? And he goes, I'm a porn star, can't you recognize me? And the interaction went so well that she asked him for instant date. So you can see how powerful this one is. But you don't want to overdo it. Do it once. If you keep doing it, you just become this clownish guy. So you want to improve your English. That's why you're working here. It's good because there's lots of people. So you can have a chat. Also, I can teach you English for £50 for 1 minute.
Listen, it's okay.
And then the other point is you being the prize, not her. So you want her to win you over. So an example is if she says, oh, I'm about to go home, and you will say, oh, like I'm not coming with you, I'm not that easy. So having said all of that, obviously what you need to remember is you don't need to do every single one. As long as you do a few of them, you're gonna get that attraction, right? It doesn't have to be perfect, just remember that. And another really important thing is your vibe, right? You could say the best lines, you could say the best teasers, you could say the best challenges, but if you don't have that good vibe, right, you're not gonna get the attraction. So just remember, you need to do a really good warm-up. I'm gonna make another video to talk about how you can really get into that magical vibe. All right, now for the mission. For this week's mission, I'm gonna get you to do 5 approaches. 3 of them, you're going to do teasing, right? And then the last 2, you're gonna do challenging. All right, so good luck, and I'm gonna see you next week.